Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hello, everyone. And this is Radio Montelibero. We are broadcasting from our studio here in the first club of Montelibero. And I'm joined here, myself, of course, Birkin, joined here today by a wonderful gentleman from the state of LIBERSTAD, or future state of LIBERSTAD. Am I pronouncing it right, guys?
Yes, LIBERSTAD, yes.
Okay, good. So we have here Daniel sitting on my right, and Halvor sitting on my left. And of course, I'm accompanied, almost as always in our English interviews, by Michael Querens. Hello,
Ciao.
guys.
Ciao, everyone.
Right. Good. Thank you for coming over. This is a great pleasure. I'm looking forward to this interview. I really wanted to talk with you guys, but I never had the chance to during the festival because I was running here and there, and I was responsible for the live stream, and actually went quite well, at least better than I expected. And Daniel, you were also there, right?
Yes, I was in the panel.
Right. How did it go?
Yeah, quite good. I mean, didn't have much questions, but I think, also because I'm not a public speaker, and the other people were more, that were there.
Mhm.
And for a great deal, I could agree with their answers. So, yeah.
Right. Well, how important was it for you to actually take part in this panel discussion and to represent LIBERSTAD? Or was it more like, oh yeah, like I actually had to do this because people like asked me and I couldn't say no to
There
them?
was hesitation, yes, because not used to the spotlight and really don't want to, but I see that it's to connect and to get awareness more. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
That's great. Good. And Halvor, can I ask what your expectations were when you were just coming to Bar and the festival?
Yeah, well, we had the opportunity to go. We had plans to travel south, so we thought like we should check this out because me and Daniel, I think we want to help communications between the three cities in Europe.
Right. How much did you know about Montelibero before coming over?
Not much. I read a bit on your website. Yeah.
How did you like our website? We absolutely hate it. This is a disaster.
Well, have you looked at our website? Yeah.
Well, I missed some translations.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of Russian, and indeed, if you would like to connect more to the rest of the world, there might be but some more translations in there from some topics you have in there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But I could make my way. I found the most important things in English, so that was very nice. The basics where everything stands up and the volunteers, it's all there. So yeah, it was good information.
Right. And other than a lot of Russian and sometimes missing translations, did anything trigger you either on our website or like about the concept of Montelibero?
No, because it's not very far from LIBERSTAD. If you go to the LIBERSTAD website, there is this kind of the same concept.
A lot of Russian.
No.
With translations.
The narratives and and the whole voluntarist thing and explanations and where we stand for, and it's kind of the same. It could be a bit cultural background differences that we use little other words than down here, but in a way it's the same. I was more confused about Liberland, like. Is he making a state? But I understand them.
Yeah, exactly. But I did call you a future state of LIBERSTAD. How right am I? Maybe Halvor can.
Well, we think of Libertarian as a city, not a state.
Right. Sorry. So it's the future city of LIBERSTAD.
Yeah.
Right. But is it a plan? Is it a work in progress? Is it already a reality? I think our listeners and our viewers won't know much about LIBERSTAD, so here's a chance for them to learn more.
Yeah, I can maybe start on that, and then Daniel can help me a bit. Yeah, well, at the moment, there has been a dialogue between the local principality and LIBERSTAD. And I think the official view of LIBERSTAD is that we are trying to slow things down a bit and see what happens. So we have built a lot of roads in LIBERSTAD. We have 2 excavators, a big dump truck. Daniel, he works sometimes on one of the excavators.
Right. So not only like you actually build LIBERSTAD with your own hands.
Well, what was kind of bought is a big farm with buildings.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of buildings. There were in 2017 a barracks building built with rooms where people can rent a bed with a bathroom. So for visitors, the thing is, if you go there, you should not expect much because it's small.
Mhm.
We're indeed we're trying to take it slow because we know if we push too hard, the government will push back harder. So we have kind of a vision like, okay, we do something, but we not allowed to do by government, and then we'll see what happens.
Makes
You know?
sense.
And until now that goes, because we also have kind of the region around us, the people. We are very friendly and open to them. You know, that's the non-violence principle.
Exactly.
And they understand that, and they think, no, it's good that LIBERSTAD is there, because
Mhm.
it brings a lot of foreigners every year, because a lot of people visit in the summer and stay with us for a while. They spend their money in the stores outside LIBERSTAD, because LIBERSTAD cannot provide for now in everything. So
Kind of tourist attraction.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you had any troubles with the government, local government so far?
I think me personally not. I think Halvor not, but I think John, the owner, who has everything on his name and everything, he has some trouble of going around. You know, getting his bank accounts, getting this and that. He's been harassed by government a lot. It's also the reason why he doesn't really travel. He thinks, okay, I'm taking risks, looking at Liberland and a president in exile. He doesn't see himself in that position ever. He doesn't want that, so he keeps he keeps it slow and low, and that's the thing. We have the time.
Can I ask about your president? Like, what's his name again? Sorry.
John
John.
Holmesland. Holmesland, yeah.
Right. So obviously you call him John.
Yeah.
Informally, right?
Yeah.
So how is he chosen?
He's not chosen. It's more that in a way we respect private property, and he is the one with all the private property on his name. And in that case, if you enter someone's private property, you kind of obey to his rules. No, because that's what you do. It's the same if someone enters your living room, he has to obey to your rules. You know, it's not like, and then he is the one that says, but it's all voluntary and non-violence. So if you don't like the rules, don't come. And the rules are very, very, very open in interpretation, and you know, there's always things to discuss in, because it's evolving still.
Yeah, but I have 2 questions about this. First of all, how does he feel about some potential clashes with the police? Because he might end up being responsible because it's his land, his property, and whoever's going to come and, I don't know, confiscates the things, etc. is going to be his problem.
He's secretly hoping for it.
Really? What do you mean?
He's secretly hoping that the same thing will happen like in Liberland, but that he is the guy that will be confronted by a lot of police officers and dragged off into jail, and you know, and that's the moment that he says, I want all cameras in LIBERSTAD rolling, and I want everything out on the internet, because that would kind of give, you know, we are non-violent, we are peaceful people, look what they do.
That would catalyze a lot of things. So it would speed things up.
Yes. So that's why we know the government also knows, and they will probably never do it.
And my second question regarding John is, how do you sort of protect yourselves from him changing his mind and for example, okay, what if I don't want to see you guys and I want, like John, want a whorehouse over here and I want to grow weed over there? Or you're also secretly hoping for this? Because I'm not sure if I would say no.
Well, kind of, it's all behind membership. So in a way, everybody that comes into LIBERSTAD as visitors, also you have to be members. It's kind of, John is monitoring the people, and if these people are not what they tell they are, he asks them friendly to leave. And until now this works. We had some people that came and they were really a bit socialist and even nationalists of other countries, and we had something like, whoa. So then John has a nice talk with them and very friendly, and says, we advise you to find some other place because this is not the place for you. And that works until now. I see also that, if you grow much bigger, like we are now like living in LIBERSTAD with 14 people, but if you start getting bigger, like 150 or 1,000 people, we have to think about what then.
But there's also on the work, I think, the constitution of LIBERSTAD. So
Yes.
Is it on your website? Can I
no, it's not
It's
released yet.
It's in work in progress.
They can never change
figuring
it.
it out. Yeah.
So there is 14 of you living there. How many followers probably do you have? People who just watching after the project, sympathizing you and stuff. Do you have do you count those people?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but we're somewhere between 150 and 250 members. A part of them are landowners because they bought plots of land and in that way support. So it's not that big.
Yeah, because there is a difference, like in Montelibero too, where just like 200-300 people relate somewhere around these numbers, is just living exactly in bar, participate in some way, and thousands of people watching after, and we have them online supporting us and stuff. This is two very different numbers, and just interesting. Maybe there is some, maybe we can find some ideas knowing those numbers and correlations, and maybe it's valuable information. I don't know yet. This is why I am asking. Maybe.
Well, as far as I know, in here in Montelibero, we have lots of remote workers, people working remotely for IT companies, for example, and some downshifters, some people working at the construction site that you saw during the festival. And a lot of people can't actually move to Montelibero and move to Bar because of some restraints, maybe because of health issues, or because they can't afford to do this financially, or because someone in their family might be ill and might need to be taken care of. Right. So I was wondering, what kind of people live in LIBERSTAD? Are they also downshifters? Or
we have some people that live indeed of their work on internet, and that indeed they can do that from anywhere in the world, and then they choose to have a spot in LIBERSTAD and do it. We have some people that work in companies outside LIBERSTAD, so they have income. I am someone, I cannot work in Norway because I am kind of illegal there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How did you come here, and would you be able to actually go back?
Well, that's the question. If I will be, the borders are open, so I can freely go in and out. There is a risk for me if they check me, that they will say, no, you're not allowed, you have to go back to the Netherlands.
So welcome to Montelibero, I guess.
Yeah, maybe if that happens, I'll just return here and
I will find a place for you.
Yeah, but I already start to see some similarities because we had Vít Jedlička, president of Libertarian, over here in the studio, and he said he can't actually enter his own country, like he's banned from coming to.
And what I am someone, I have no income, not from government, anything. I refused everything. So I work for Citycoin, which is there is not much work at the moment in LIBERSTAD, but because I have skills in construction, welding, I can do maintenance on the machinery. I can even operate big machinery. So I have just enough work through the year to pay my rent. and pay my electricity, and I have to take care of my food by doing a lot of trade with the other people in LIBERSTAD. And we are also quite lucky that 6 kilometers away there is a Dutch community that is liberal and more eco-farm. That's more tourism because they're only there in summer. And they also have a lot of work for me, so I work for them, and in that way I just get around. But that's I see that for myself as an offer. I'm ready to go down and live a low life for a future, for a better future for people that come after me. I don't care really for myself anymore. I'm 54, I just want to...
You're still quite young. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but I lived a long life already.
Okay.
Is there any communities like LIBERSTAD in Netherlands?
No.
Have you really have to move to Norway?
In the Netherlands there is a Libertarian party, and I only heard about them when I was in LIBERSTAD, because the old leader of the Libertarian party is kind of the owner of the Dutch community. So I get to know him, and I thought, okay, so I didn't even know about him, and he says also, no, in the Netherlands there is nothing like this. And if you set up something in the Netherlands, because people tried, the government will allow, but in the years, like, you find a little spot of land that you think is perfect. There is in Amsterdam, there is a little old town that they privately own, but what they did, this town is built around with industry, big buildings that take the light away, everything to get people out.
Oh, I see. Thank you. And Halvor, how are you involved in the project?
Well, the plan has been for several years that I was supposed to start up a brewery in LIBERSTAD.
Oh, nice.
So this year we tried starting up, but the building is not done yet. But we had about 5 batches this year. So we made the Pilsner, and we made the brown ale and some alcopop.
What did we have at the after party? Because
that's the Pilsner.
Pilsner,
and that's made with organic hops, organic malts, and yeast is special. It's Norwegian quake.
It was really tasty. Yeah,
it's
I can
really
prove
good.
that.
Yes, absolutely. Vouch for that. Thank you for coming over with a little present from Montelibero.
Yeah,
we need to make sure we also give the guys some alcohol, right? Some absinthe.
We have absinthe already.
Oh, okay.
We're wondering how to ever get it into Norway, but
I think we have a plan.
You need to,
No, we want to offer it to John and Sandra also. That we have once a month. The bar is open. In the summer, it's even every week. And then we have mostly a nice party and drink some, and that's kind of gifts come on the table and we share, and that would be nice to have a nice bottle coming from here and put it on the table in our bar and have everybody enjoy that.
Exactly. So they will have a completely different, perception of Montelibero. Oh yes. Oh, you're from Montelibero. Yeah, I drank you. Drank your alcohol. You're really good guys. Come over. But how important is it for you guys to actually have something produced on land? Because anything can be bought online. Anything can be bought from other communities.
The business idea of my brewing company, it's called Liberty Ales. It was in the business plan. We said, like, okay, the first customer is the Granbaren. That's the local bar in LIBERSTAD. But I've been doing the mathematics a bit about doing budgets, and we will probably look for other customers close to LIBERSTAD in the spring.
Yeah, you can actually sell your alcohol to the nearest to the nearest community. Community. Why not?
They kind of always come over to us.
Yeah, they come always to the bar and.
Oh yeah, that's good planning already. Nice, but
there are other products like originally the whole farm is kind of a firewood farm, so we have all the equipment to produce from the trees. All the trees we have firewood. So mostly there's decided, okay, this piece of land we want to have in the future some housing, or we want to rent it out for tiny houses. We take the trees down, make it very nice, and the trees are being processed into firewood, which is, I think, the only kind of legal thing happening that has been sold in LIBERSTAD outside LIBERSTAD.
You think it's legal?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. But also we have a mechanical workplace with welding equipment and lots of equipment to work on cars, and it happens regularly that people travel to LIBERSTAD and they have a problem with their car. So we offer then, we order the parts. The hourly prices of our mechanics are way lower because we don't pay tax, and we solve the problems. And the people that have these problems are then very happy, and we got some money in.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Do you stress that you don't pay taxes when you do these services? And if you do, like, how do people react?
Yeah, very well. Because I have now a Dutch guy who bought a old Norwegian military vehicle, 4-wheel drive, to go off road.
Mm-hmm.
It needed some work, so he just left it with me, and he said, whenever you want to work on it. And then we made a price, like what would it cost if he would do it outside LIBERSTAD?
Mm.
Then it would cost him like 90 euros an hour. We can get that back to 40 euros an hour, and that means that I get 25 euros for my work, and the workplace use is 15 euros an hour, and then you have to pay, of course, the parts used. So it's kind of, that's doable.
Oh, right, of course, that's a bargain, actually.
Yeah.
Nice. So people love a good bargain, and this is one way to actually introduce them to libertarianism and the idea of
agorism,
society.
Free trade without third party, and that's what we're all about,
Exactly.
And
like, it kind of makes sense, because if you go to a nearest farm and you want to buy some eggs, right? You wouldn't really pay taxes, so why would you, like, this is my own my own labor, so why would I have to? It's just that some people might find it weird, and I was wondering what the perception of your city is like in Norway.
Well, in Norway, I think most statists, they might not like it, and of course many people don't know about LIBERSTAD.
What I noticed, I'm there 2 years, directly surrounding us, the people, they really like us. They really think, okay, because a lot of tourists come to the place, and they also spend their time outside LIBERSTAD.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
but
a good thing. But I noticed in the cities, they speak about us like, oh, that cult up there, you know. And you think,
we've been called a cult as well.
Yeah.
So
we call ourselves a cult, actually.
And John,
ironically,
John, the big cult leader, you know, like. And we laugh about that. You think they don't know.
Of course.
Yeah.
I have a general question. How do you actually end up with the libertarianism? Do you consider yourself even libertarians? Maybe you're libertarian related, or you consider yourself a libertarian, and how you end up being, this part of this cult?
I kind of read the Pirate Code when I was very young. I don't know if you know the Pirate Code, but that's a very fair one, but also very aggressive and tough one. And I took a lot of that already. That is libertarian and anarchistic, and I always was kind of that way through my life, because I grew up under a very authoritarian father, and started working and saw the authorities also in management and this and that, and so it came kind of natural to me. So and I know for other people might not, but
So you've been libertarian almost from your
from
teenagehood, or
yes.
was
Teenage years.
Teenage yes,
and
right.
it was kind of in the Netherlands because as you know, cannabis is not legal but allowed there.
Mhm.
I grew up in a town that had his own dealer, and I was 12, 13 years, and I started smoking weed, and that really broke my program. Like you go to school after the weekend, and everything they tell you, you perceive it in such a different way, and you see the bullshit going on. And then also the music. That Bob Marley was a big inspiration, you know, with his lyrics and all those things.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And what about you, Halvor?
For me, it was a bit different. About 15 years ago, I kind of started to wake up. At the time, I was working as a satellite engineer at a teleport in Norway.
Wow, cool.
Well, it isn't, because they kind of earn money on war. Yeah.
Yeah, this part is not cool, but
Yeah.
you know, the work is probably
the
interesting.
technology, yeah.
But anyway, I woke up more and more, and we by chance we looked at LIBERSTAD some years ago, and then I just went there, talked with John, and that was it for me. So yeah,
So for you, it's quite recently. You
quite
changed your
recently,
mind.
maybe 4 years ago or something.
Can you reflect a little bit with your ideology through life? For example, what you've been thinking about actually politics? Have you had any mindset about it? And maybe it's not just changed, maybe it just appeared. Maybe before that you haven't thought about it at all, or something like that. Just to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I was a statist. If you go back 15 years, so I was programmed by the state and the schools and the media, like everybody around me. So, but when I started seeing lies everywhere, that the media told and the state told, I figured out something is wrong. So then I started to change. Yeah.
Well, I can relate. I went through the same path, probably just a little bit earlier.
I think we also all went through a period where we thought that socialism would be nice. We all did that.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
John, our big man, he did that. But then come to realize, no, it's not.
There is this old saying that if you haven't been socialist when you're all young, you don't have a heart. And if you're still a socialist being old, that it means that you don't have a brain. So, you know.
Yeah, a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I kind of see libertarianism as a healthier version, like the advanced version of socialism, because it's a laissez-faire state, like you can do whatever you want, and there's no state to support you, so you're on your own. It means that not only are you responsible for your own family, for example, but you're free to choose who you're going to support, because we don't really, I think we don't support, using charities, through charities, other people that need help, and we sort of assume that the state would take care of them. But first of all, they do a botched job out of it, a lousy job out of it, just as with everything else. And it's just that the state kind of made us think, okay, this is the way it should be done. But honestly, no, you're responsible for everything in your life.
So when we're going to make our own space project, so we know the person we need to ask about, details about it. We're hoping that one day we'll have our own space project.
Satellites.
Yeah, brought up by centralized communities and something like that.
Yeah, and also, like, you can actually build your own little socialist paradise within the libertarian community, because you're free to choose whichever way you're going to develop.
I had a day-long talk with a guy in Greece, English guy, who claimed that he was a socialist. And the first meeting I had was at a bar, and he was standing there, and he turned around, "Oh, who are you?" And I said, "I'm Daniel, I'm an anarchist." And he said, "Oh, I'm Steve, I'm a socialist." we had a very long talk, and in the end he had to admitted to me, "Yeah, I'm not a socialist, I'm just a social guy." And I said, "Indeed, if you go from that, you're fine, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with socializing."
Exactly.
Because that's enjoying life, that's good. But so the moment you go into socialist and force it, and think that everybody must obey to this rule, then you're wrong.
Everyone should help each other. You want to help others on behalf of someone else. Always, you know better how someone should help others and stuff. So,
exactly. But it's a voluntary thing.
Yes, it's voluntary. This guy helped me out great in Greece because I spent 11 days taking care of his house and his dog when he was away, and when I needed a ride to the airport, he was there. And
Nice.
I didn't have a bank account, so someone wanted to pay me. I said, "Can you?" "Oh, of course." You know.
I think there's a way, you know, for you to promote libertarian ideas of anarchy, of libertarianism. Of course. By the way, how do you do that? Like, is there a person who's responsible for I don't know, promoting your community?
I think it's at this moment a bit searching for that. Like, we don't know yet how to, because what I say, you know, in the cities they say the cult and people around us are very positive, but they rather keep their state controlled things because that's the most safe thing. And that's the whole thing I always say. You have to, as an anarchist libertarian, you have to live without fear. And that's very hard for most people, because that's the thing that government puts on people. Government says you have to fear. You know, that's the thing. So how to promote us more in Norway itself is hard.
Well, you have a website. That's one thing.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah.
But that's what also is. Most of our members are not from Norway. The group of members from Norway is very small.
Right.
And also, what I also found out, try to get 10 anarchists to work together. They're all individuals. They're all individuals.
Jokes about
you know?
that. Yeah. How many libertarians do we need to change the light bulb? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Same here. Yes.
I think there are over 30 countries represented in Liberstad,
Wow.
just by the landowners.
In spite of the fact that you don't really have any promotion, any campaigns whatsoever, people come over. Like, what's your policy towards, let's call them foreigners? Like, can anybody come as long as they like behave, as long as they adhere to the rules that John proposed?
Well, anybody can come to Libertad and at least visit. To come and work there is kind of hard because not much work. So you can come there if you have outside work, and but the thing is, you will be kind of checked out a bit. Like, are you really sincere? Are you honest? You know, and if and that's a natural thing happening. It's not that John goes like in an interview. No, we just have parties and we just engage with each other. And then in the group of people we found out this guy is not what he says. And then it comes out, and then we friendly engage with these people. Like, isn't it better to find another place, like Christiana in Denmark? That's nice for you. That's a communist socialist place. You know, you fit more there.
I see. Well, how do you even talk? I mean, do you speak English? Do you speak
Most English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have actually any strategy? Do you have any goals, or you just want to be left alone or something? Have you? Is this project like kind of you left out of the garments trying to stay away, or you have, as I already asked, some kind of goal, ultimate
Or
goal,
vision?
vision?
I think John told me once that the goal is beyond his life. So he says, what I set up, I hope it will go on for hundreds of years. So he hopes to his possessions to go over into his children, who are grown up in the whole philosophy, and will keep this constitution that we once want to set up, keep that going. And yeah, there is. So
you're just basically setting up the lifestyle of this kind. So you expect it to grow on its own, just being like more healthy way of living or something, right? Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, that is the strategy, I suppose.
But Halvor, you have 14 members currently. Let's imagine that you grow to 100 population, and I know that John has a personal influence. Okay, so he kind of interviews people like informally, like during parties, etc. Like you see if that's a nice guy or not. But are you going to formalize it at any point? Because here, in order to be a guest in the club, for example, you need to adhere to the non-aggression principle. That's the most important thing. And if you want to be a resident, well, there are 3 statements that we discuss, but of course it's more of a casual talk, and we just probe the person. We test their ground. So. Are you going to formalize it in any sort of manifest?
Well, to become a member of LIBERSTAD, you have to talk to John, and he will, as you said, interview you in a way to see what you're about. And if you are an anarchist, you will probably be accepted. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to LIBERSTAD, 14 members are living there. But I think the membership number is about 200.
Oh. So have all these people been in LIBERSTAD in person?
No, not all, I think. I was talking to John a few weeks ago, and he's, how many said? Maybe he said, because we were talking about the profitability of Granbaren, the local bar, which I have a stake in. And he was saying like, okay, we have around 100 members in the area, and many of them have never been to LIBERSTAD. So somehow we have to get them there. Exactly. So we, at some point in the spring, probably we have to do some PR work.
But then you speak about visitors, and if you maybe you ask like, okay, we're living now with 14 people there. If they're with 140 people, how will you still manage?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think John is kind of then thinking, okay, but I got these 14 people. Some of them I can really use to take this position also. So if it throws to 150, it's not only John. It will be more people that take care of if the people that come are the right people. And in a way it's also, you have to let kind of everybody try, and then see. Because some people are libertarian, but terrible assholes,
True,
so
true.
and then it's not on the principle that they're not libertarians, but just because they're manipulative assholes. And then you
need to have the right kind of chemistry with the person.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because in here we have like a handful of people that can interview others in order for them to become residents. So I think you're going to follow in our footsteps in a way, and we are very, very similar in this way.
It's a natural working, kind of, and it's coming kind of from the time that we lived as clans, because that's also a vision we have. It should maybe not grow bigger than 250 people living there, and then we should set up another town, on the same principles.
Yes, you've just answered my next question, which is like something that we get asked a lot. Like, okay, so you have this plot of land which is only 1 hectare. What are you going to do when the number of people who would like to join Montelibero is more than like this area? You already have a plan for this, like more cities?
I think we have 120 hectare.
120
hectare.
Oh, it's big. It's big. Wow. A lot of forests. And we have one green field that we maybe in the future, maybe next year, we will plant more food.
So we have a lot of land and a lot of plots, but we're waiting for someone who will start building.
And we need roads for that.
Because that's the thing in Norway. The permissions to build. We're not going to ask for permission to the government. We'll try to just do and then make a case out of it.
And see how it goes. Yeah, exactly. And wait for the police to come and
we also
make videos.
Recommend people that are in the same mindset and that are able to buy the land directly around LIBERSTAD, so it gets bigger. Or that's why the Dutch people, the Dutch community, bought the 6 kilometer away, and they have even a plot of land that's little bit bigger than LIBERSTAD. We have a lot of land.
You're set up for growth, I believe.
Yeah.
we also have like German friends a little bit further away from MTL City, Montelibero City, who already are members. So hopefully we're going to grow that way. Nice. I've been thinking about our similarities, how similar our communities are, and how they are based on the same principles. And I've thought about this blockchain system that we're using, and you're now also using that. Have you had the chance to? Because I think it's also on Stellar, as I know.
I'm not really the technical, and
okay,
we
so
know,
it's the first time
we know we have Citicoin and we can use
works.
it and it works.
Yes, but I was hoping you would be able to tell us a little bit about Citicoin.
We can try.
Well, it's pegged to the Norwegian kroner, that I know.
Uh-huh.
So it's 1-to-1.
Right, exactly.
And when you work at LIBERSTAD, you usually get this in your wallet.
Uh-huh.
So then you can spend it paying electricity, you plot or something, rent for the plot or rent for the apartment or whatever. And you can buy beer in the Granbaren, you can buy food, pre-made food mostly, in Granbaren or in the kiosk.
It's so strange to see this happening, because we've done that before, and it's like I'm on a different planet, but I see that something is slightly different, but still pretty much the same and very familiar.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
So because we've followed the same path.
For us too, the whole experience of Montelibero was.
Home away from home.
We know this. We know this. Yes.
And we have
nice.
Parties too. Oh yes.
Oh yes. Yeah, we noticed. It was a nice one on Sunday. Oh.
Maybe one day we will make some bridges in technical way with this blockchain systems and stuff. Maybe make it interchangeable, and so.
Yeah.
I think we've already integrated, or like we've made ways, like we've taken steps to integrate in your system and vice versa, and we can invest in LIBERSTAD and
that's
and vice versa.
It's something for the manager of the whole crypto situation in LIBERSTAD, and that's Sondre.
Yeah.
He's working on that kind
He's a self-learned programmer.
He's also promoting other free cities to implement the system like this, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And he even says, I'm willing to give copies of the system away to people that build up cities like this.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it has to be distributed, of course. But how enthusiastic were the people of LIBERSTAD, to use this system? Because there's this Norwegian krone, right, that they can use, and they can use it anywhere. What are the perks? What are the positives of using this?
Well, if you want to buy my beer, you have to pay in Citicoin. So
well, it's staying anonymous. You don't. If you now pay with your bank card in kroner or in euros, the government knows what you did.
Okay.
And now you go to LIBERSTAD, they only see that you spent some money once, but where you spend it on, they don't see.
It's actually a donation. If you go to the website if you're a member on the website at LIBERSTAD, you can donate for city.
Yes, and I think we can provide the links in the description to this video and the audio version of this episode, so more people can actually learn about that and can donate and can probably buy some of your coins.
Yeah, the thing is also that Sondre and John is setting up a fund, so it's easier for outsiders to invest in LIBERSTAD. And I think we will be promoting this at this conference soon. Is it in October?
Liberty in Our Lifetime?
In Prague.
In Prague,
yes, that's the one. Exactly. We're also going. Yeah.
So he bought some of my company, 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which others, but Granbaren for sure. I think the bar, But I don't know what else he's putting in there now.
Well, there are also plans for a virtual world with that's also for investing in, like you can buy NFTs of the land. You can buy NFTs of just a company, or and in that way you invest in it, because this NFT could go up in value.
Exactly.
So they're busy in that. It's not up and running yet. It's a long process.
Yeah, it's like I have a parcel of land in MTL City, and I own an NFT which is linked to that particular
Yes,
parcel.
that's also the future for LIBERSTAD coming.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done,
Yes.
guys. Right. So it's like an ETF, right? DeFi or whatever. Like it's an accumulated coin that this new fund and whatever coin it's going to release that is going to be like an accumulation of all the businesses.
Inside
I think so.
In the end, it is because now it's baked on the Norwegian kroner, basically because we want to have a stable coin. A real stable coin, because that is very convenient to use. And in the far future, because we see inflation going on with the Norwegian kroner, if LIBERSTAD is big enough, we can base it on real assets in LIBERSTAD. The company is worth so many city coins, so blah blah. This company is worth so much. The ground is worth so much, and there's talk about setting Norwegian kroner into gold, silver, put it in a big safe, and have that as a backup.
Yeah, that makes sense. Daniel, I have a question for you, if you don't mind. Like more of a personal question, because at the beginning of the interview, you said something that kind of triggered me. Like you said something along the lines of like I refused to participate in this system, like, and as a self-proclaimed anarchist, that kind of makes sense. So how easy is it to actually live a life of a recluse of some sort in this technological world where we have bank systems like online banking, etc., etc. As I understand, you don't use them, or you try not to.
Well, I kind of lost them.
What's the password? Okay.
No. I choose indeed that way, and I for freedom, and I know freedom is not comfortable, and. If you have to be willing to get through the worse. Like you might end up sleeping under a bridge. You might end up in jail. You might end up anywhere because this. But if you have that mindset, you will see that won't happen because I'm fine. I mean, I own nothing, but I made just the whole trip from Norway down here. I mean, I have not much assets, It's that's the thing. I'm not a big crypto holder or anything. It's even so that I'm getting hacked all the time because I'm making comments in social media, internets, where that I don't like, and then they start to hack my computers and steal my cryptos, and so yeah. It's and that's what I see. For me personally, I have no partner, no kids. Yeah, I have them, but I had to they left me long ago. So I'm on my own. So for me, I say, it's more easy. But I can understand if you have a partner and kids, then it's very hard. Yeah. The same with the question about medicine and that kind of thing, because that's a question we get a lot also in LIBERSTAD. People that say, I am depending on certain medicines that now the government provides me. How is that going to work? And then I say, at this moment we are small, so it's hard, but we hope for a future that we're big enough that we can set up private insurance and that everybody can have a private insurance.
Yeah,
and then the problem is solved. But at this moment, I have no health insurance, because I can't afford it. So
we found a doctor who was already working, a family doctor who was already working with one of our members, and for a certain amount of your MTL, she can consult us remotely, and if there are a lot of people willing to actually use her services, she might actually relocate to Montenegro, so she can be here in person. So that's another way of looking at it.
Get the right people indeed.
Exactly.
If doctors and that kind of people come into town, and you have also things a bit more solved. Because I think John wants to set up a kind of emergency sick bay, because we're kind of rural, and is thinking then, we should have someone who is a nurse, at least in Libertad being around. And that kind of things are all faster going on. But that's the thing, that's the whole process that you go through, that in the beginning you don't have nothing and you have to build everything. So you go to periods that are kind of unsure and risky.
We also have this new guy who recently came from Russia. He just recently he's finished this medical school and
he's graduated and he's a professional qualified doctor, I would say. Halvor, what else do you think is missing from Libertad? Like, what else would you like to add?
Well, for me, I'm a brewer, so now we need probably a smokery is planned now for smoking meat and fish and such. It might be there in the spring. That's the first thing that's happening. We've been talking about starting a chicken farm thingy, not big, but for eggs and meat. And there is a guy that is connected to the project. I think he has a plot too. He's a baker, and I think he donated a big oven, a baker's oven. We just have to collect it somewhere else. So, but of course, you might need some space for that oven and such, and that's not in place yet. But but that's just maybe if we look into the next year. Yeah, I think.
Okay, good luck to you, Daniel. Anything you'd like to add?
No, well,
you're fine as it is, as things are.
We try to make a nice big festival every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The last, but until now we have 50 visitors max.
Okay,
so
we're expecting an invitation.
Yeah, we will.
We'll return the visit.
And we're learning because we see that what you here did. That's way better than we organize it.
Thank you.
We are kind of winging it. We're kind of winging it, and
but it's fun.
It's very fun, and
that's the most important. Exactly. It should be fun.
Like the last festival, I saw people getting a bit bored, so I took a off-road car and stopped. I said, "Everybody in, because I'm gonna show everybody the new roads." So I could take 6 people at a time, and then I made the drives around with that, and you try to entertain the people, and in that way. And next year we try to get it a little bit bigger and more promoted, and
you should invite popular speakers like we did, for example, like if Wagengenbroek. Half of the world will come to your festival.
If she wants to come, all the Russians will come. I don't know for sure.
100%. I guarantee you that. I'll make sure.
You have this idea of how this will work out, hopefully. You can imagine the future, and John also talked about how he sees this work for future generations. But what else motivates you? Because, yes, we can think about what's going to happen in 30 years' time or 50 years' time, but right now, you don't really have any feedback, You
want to get away from the state.
No, well, I see civilization in the world as it is today is at this high point that it can only crash. And that's a point, we were again, and you see in history, we're always at the point that everything will crash. And then something else has to be there to still go on. And we hope that we, as the libertarians, cities, you too, and that we can be the ones that say, we'll stand up and we'll build a new thing that might be better in the world, and I believe that's evolving. We have to evolve to that, because that's a natural thing. It's a natural thing if you look in history that every civilization will come to an end.
I'm more pessimistic on that. I think they will stand for much longer. I hope that we will be competitive enough just to survive through the whole process.
Well, then
it's gonna be a hard time. Yes, yes, they're gonna panic, and when they panic, they will destroy. And we have to be aware. And I think awareness is a big thing we have to be.
Yeah, we probably need to spread the word, and which is what we are trying to do. Feel free to use this recording, of course,
which
to promote.
Very hard, because I have a lot of friends in the Netherlands who own their house, they have their job, they have all the securities. they see all the problems coming, but if I tell them that's going to get worse, they say, "Oh, we'll manage." But they don't see it because they still believe that the state will help.
It's gonna crush on itself,
Yeah.
implode. Well, this way I might disagree with Michael because things, all these processes are like a sped up. It's like a time lapse.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But if they stay for longer, then it might give us more time to prepare.
Yes.
So either way will prevail. Thank you guys for coming over. That was a fantastic interview.
It was a pleasure.
More than
pleasure
welcome
being here.
Yeah,
Thank
more
you.
than welcome to actually come over. I know that you're staying here for a whole month, so
2 or 3 months.
even 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
even better, right? So hopefully you
We'll
will like
visit.
Montenegrin weather in winter.
Yes, we will come
Warmer
and visit
here.
you.
It's still warmer than in Norway, yeah, I guess. It's still the south. These have been Daniel and Halvor from LIBERSTAD. And I, Birkin, have been accompanied by Michael Querens. This is Radio Montelibero. Subscribe, comment, like, share. Thank you and goodbye.
Ciao.